We call ourselves the movement, not of just students, but a movement that Jesus started 2,000 years ago of disciples that make disciples that make disciples, and here we are today. But here's the tough part. See, we're currently being encouraged to disconnect from people. When social distancing is mandated and enforced, what does it look like for us to continue being a part of God's movement? Join us in this series as we work to figure that out together.
The agency now recommends gatherings of 50 people or more to be canceled.
What's up, guys? I'm Josh, and I'm excited to have you join me this week. See, if you go outside, one thing is clear: we are in a desperate situation. Let me rephrase. For a while now, we have been in a desperate situation. You see, you look around and we see all this craziness. We watch people fight over toilet paper, stealing items out of each other's carts, speaking hurtful words, acting out of fear. There's panic, and it seems to only be getting worse. And I believe that God has given us in this a gift to see a clearer picture of our own hearts, to finally have a glimpse of what He sees when He looks at us. See, it's so easy to wake up and turn on the TV and eat breakfast and head to school, assuming that everything is just okay, but the truth is, everything has not been okay for a while now. When the chaos comes in, it gives us a clearer opportunity to see our own hearts. See, take this hand sanitizer, for instance. See, when I squeeze this bottle, what comes out? Hand sanitizer. When I take an orange and I squeeze an orange, what comes out? Orange juice. See, when pressure is applied, when stress and tension, when we're squeezed, when that stuff happens, the internal becomes external. And the question is, when you are squeezed, when pressure is applied to your life, when stress is applied to who you are, what comes out? Acts 16 is one of my favorite stories in the Bible because it's this clear example of exactly this. See, Paul and Silas, they're captured and they're beaten by a crowd and put into prison for doing exactly what God has called them to do. Man, I would be crazy frustrated. I'd be so angry. And to a degree, maybe you can relate. Maybe you have been trying to live out God's mission. Maybe you've been trying to actively be a part of this movement that He started, but now you are left far more isolated than you'd like to be. You sit in your metaphorical prison cell wondering when God will redeem you from it. Think about it. Prison is the ultimate act of social distancing. Paul and Silas understood our situation because theirs was far worse. They were squeezed, stress was applied, they were taken and kept away from the people that they loved. Surely there must have been fear in that prison. They didn't know how long they were going to remain there. And not only that, but it says that they were taken and imprisoned in the innermost room. They were the most guarded, the most secure. Basically, they're in the very center of this prison. And they take what is the center cell and make it into center stage. See, they're taken so innermost into this prison that it's to the extent that all the other prisoners could see and hear them well. Whether they panicked or rejoiced, everyone would know because they had center stage. This crazy time of disease and fear and quarantine and isolation, in this time, all eyes are on us. How do we handle this situation? People are wondering if we actually believe in this Jesus guy. They want to see how we respond. See, our faith is center stage. And with stress and pressure, that which is internal becomes external. And what did Paul and Silas do in the middle of their quarantine, amidst their imprisonment? Verse 25 tells us exactly what they did. It says, about midnight, Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns to God, and the other prisoners were listening to them. There was stress and pressure that was applied on their lives and on who they were, and their response was to press into the Lord. They chose to trust Him in the midst of uncertainty, to praise Him even when times were difficult. And this is our challenge. This pandemic is scary for many of us. The stress is real, but what would it look like for these stressors to put Jesus on full display in our lives? Knowing that everyone is watching to see how we respond. The closer we press into Jesus in the difficult, the more people will know Him by knowing you. Being a part of this movement is even more important in difficult times. Let us be like Paul and Silas, that every person who is watching and listening may hear how good our God is. And now it's your turn. Families, now that you have watched this short video together, we want to encourage you to have a small group. Let's use this time to be intentional, to press in. As a family, read Acts 16, verses 16 through 40. Then go through these questions as a family. Parents and children should all participate in answering. When you are stressed, what do people see? What is internal that becomes external? How can you look more like Jesus during this current crisis? And what is something that you can praise Jesus for today? Be sure to send us a picture of you doing small group together with the hashtag #MovementInCrisis so that we can join you on this journey. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe below. We'll see you next week.